Hey guys, welcome back to a new review. Today things get a little bit more colorful than usual and we are also shrinking screen sizes. We get Samsung's latest mid-range smartphone, the A53, in the studio today, and we will tell you if the well-priced phone is still a good option or if the fancy new color tries to distract from too many cost-cutting compromises. Our friends from Cyberport provided our review unit and the original article on our website is from my colleague Florian. The A5 series has always been a good recommendation for all the folks out there who just need a solid, good functioning smartphone without the usual bells and whistles that drive up prices beyond $1,000. With a pleasing yet understated design and a bright 120Hz AMOLED screen, Samsung is carefully advancing the latest entry in the series without changing the underlying formula too much. The 6.5-inch smartphone is predominantly made from plastic and feels good when holding and using it. The back has a matte texture and looks especially nice in this new peach orange. The phone is also available in white, black and a light blue. The shiny frame adds a nice contrast to the matte backside and protrudes slightly from the Gorilla Glass cover display. All materials feel great to the touch and the smartphone left a solid impression during our testing, which is further reassured by the IP67 rating that secures the A53 against dust and water. For this year's model, Samsung stripped away the headphone jack and in typical Apple fashion the wall charger as well. Headphone users will have to resort to a Type-C adapter or Bluetooth 5.1. Samsung also included a microSD card reader, of course, even though users will have to decide between using a microSD card or a second SIM card. While write speeds are alright with our reference card, read speeds have been all over the place, and copying to and from the card left us with below average numbers. The mid-range phone ships with Android 12 and Samsung's One UI 4.1 on top of it. I am personally not the biggest fan of Samsung's design, but that is up to personal taste. That said, everything is where you expect it to be, and the smartphone is easy to navigate for both Android novices and veterans alike. There are also many options to tweak the overall appearance to your liking should you desire to do so. One thing that sets the A53 apart from other manufacturers is the fact that Samsung guarantees support over 4 big updates and 5 years of software support. That's good news for everybody who doesn't want to invest in a new phone every 2 years. The A53 is a 5G only phone and offers a solid range of 5 and 4G frequencies. Only when it comes to LTE bands we would wish for a broader range for it to be a true world phone. During our testing, the mid-ranger wasn't showing the best reception, especially compared to the competition. It is nowhere near unusable, it's just that other phones simply do a lot better. The same holds true for Wi-Fi performance. While some phones like the Xiaomi 11 Lite 5G NE, that's a mouthful, offer Wi-Fi 6 in this price range, the A53 even struggles to keep up with other Wi-Fi 5 equipped smartphones. Again, it's not like you can't use it, but if you're after top-notch Wi-Fi performance, you might want to check out other phones. It is quite hard to believe, but even in 2022, some folks use their phone actually to call people. If you are within this group of people, you will probably be satisfied with the A53. The internal speaker to take calls can get quite loud and sounds alright, just be careful not to overdo it. Otherwise the people around you might become part of your conversation. For the people being on the receiving end of your calls, you should always keep in mind to talk a little louder. Otherwise your words might lose some clarity. If you like to have your hands free, the speaker for that delivers decent quality, but quieter voices can get easily lost here as well. When it comes to consuming content, the stereo speakers deliver a great audio experience, without any distortion or unwanted noise, even at higher volumes. In terms of connectivity, even some gaming or content creation laptops should take note from the Yoga. You get 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports and a USB-A port on the left. Since the best camera is always the one you have with you, let's see what the peachy Samsung has in store. There's little difference to last year's model on paper, and you get the same free camera setup. The main shooter with optical stabilization shoots 16 megapixel photos that are binned from a 64 megapixel sensor. The images it delivers should please almost anybody, unless you're a true camera phone enthusiast. And by the way, make sure you are subscribed so you won't miss our video about best Android camera phones currently available. HDR is very convincing without being overdone, even though some details might get washed out if you're really looking for it, and sometimes saturation is boosted just a little bit too much. Low-light performance is also very usable, even though we would have wished for a little bit more details in really dark areas. A telephoto lens is also present and continues the trend of producing absolutely usable images that offer no reason to complain nor reason to sing praise. The selfie camera uses the same pixel binning as the main shooter, by combining 32 megapixels into a final 8 megapixel image. Its quality should be alright for your next social media post or your next vacation pic by the beach. You might not shoot your next movie with the A53, but its 4K FPS and 1080p 60 FPS deliver quick brightness adaptation and autofocus and solid quality. If you want to dive a little deeper into the camera's qualities, please make sure to head over to our written review to satisfy your pixel peeping needs. Alright folks, let's talk display. The AMOLED is 120Hz and gets very bright with above 700 nits. It offers a fingerprint reader below the display that worked very well in our testing. The Full HD resolution is on par with Samsung's competitors, and the typical OLED contrast makes for a very pleasant experience in everyday use, watching movies, YouTube and photos. It delivers solid color accuracy as well, as long as you choose the natural mode in the display settings. Viewing angles are excellent, and the high brightness makes it easily usable outdoors. But as is true for almost all phones, direct, harsh sunlight can make the screen quite hard to read. So make sure to find a place in the shade when reading longer texts or consuming content. Up until now, everything was quite fine and dandy with the A53, but unfortunately we still have to talk about performance. Samsung opted for one of their own Exynos CPUs, the 1280 with 2 performance and 6 efficiency cores. Neither in synthetic benchmarks nor in everyday use can it really compete with other smartphones in the same price range and is even falling behind after last year's model. As a user, this results in some slowdowns and stutters even when just navigating the UI or browsing the web. It's not deal-breaking, but definitely something buyers should be aware of. This story continues with the slow flash storage that regularly asks for unwanted wait time. The GPU in the A53 also offers absolutely nothing to write home about. In synthetics, it's easily outperformed by competing devices, and while it does offer solid gaming performance for lightweight games, you shouldn't expect this phone to help you win your next round of PUBG or Apex Legends. The weak hardware helps the A53 in the energy consumption field though. While it doesn't offer a whole lot of performance, it is at least somewhat efficient. It can redeem itself a little bit against its competitors when it comes to battery life, and the upgraded 5000 mAh battery gets you around 1 or 2 workdays of juice. Alright guys, let's wrap things up. In general, the A53 is actually a good and sometimes even a great mid-range phone. It looks and feels nice and solid and offers an excellent 120Hz AMOLED screen. Its stereo speakers are good enough for casual games, movies and even some tunes in bigger rooms, and the camera system also gave us absolutely no reason to complain. It is somewhat hindered by its slow SoC, storage and Wi-Fi, and falls behind the competition in these categories. But if you are someone who isn't after the highest benchmark scores or the most fluid and snappiest user experience, you should still check out the A53. Especially considering that Samsung's mid-range phones are often on sale, so you can get the A53 already at around €400 or $350. That would be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this review and found it helpful. Please have a look at our written review, you can find the links in the description below. And as always, please help us out by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Thanks a ton for watching. I'm Alex, you guys are amazing and I see you all in the next one. Take care.